Hello, everyone. I am Nostr.Build, and I'm going to be talking about Nostr Apps 101. So just basic overview, I'm going to wait. Now we can go. Okay, thank you all for coming. My name's Nostr.Build, my name, and I'm going over Apps 101, so covering a lot of the basic apps. Right off, I want to thank Awayuki. Awayuki did all of our designs for like all the slides, right? So she's also here. She has some merchandise she's selling. Okay, agenda. There are a lot of apps. I'm not going to read through all these. Actually, we're going to go through most of them. But there's a ton of apps. It's not just like Twitter clones, right? So there's apps for all sorts of use cases. I mean, this is just a fraction of them, right? There's tons of options for pretty much anything that anyone likes to do online. So just a slide here on the basics. How many of you use Nostr? I bet all of you. How many of you use Nostr? Cool. How many of you understand basically how it works? Basics? Okay, cool. I only have a slide on it, so I'll keep it simple. But Nostr, it's an open protocol that enables global decentralization and censorship-resistant media, right? So how it works is if you take something like Twitter, it's a very centralized place. There's one company, one Twitter, right? There's one place to upload images. It only does one thing, right? One look and feel to the app. Nostr uses relays. Anyone can host a relay, right? Relays are global. So if something happens in an area and someone takes a relay down or has to take the relay down, someone else can pop up another relay. Relays can represent different areas of interest. So if you're interested in cooking or if you're interested in Bitcoin or whatever, you can have relays focused to that. The cool thing is people can connect to whatever relays they want from all over the world, and that's what gives it this kind of decentralized aspect, right? A couple bullet points at the bottom about Nostr is how you log in. You use public and private keys. So it's very similar to the username and password, but with a private key, you can't change it. So you have to be really careful with it. You can't necessarily just send it, keep it in your email or keep it where people could hack or put it into all the different clients, right? Because who knows if it's a client that's maybe not very secure, it could leak your private key. So you got to keep your private key safe. Nostr notes are not encrypted, so anyone can see your notes. So it is a public thing. If you go even without an account and you go look at one of the apps, you can see any notes from anybody. Kind of similar to Twitter, I guess, in that case. The DMs are encrypted. Standard DMs, you can normally see who's talking with each other and at what time, but they're encrypted, so you don't know what they're saying. And then depending on the client, they will make it more difficult to even see who's talking. So we talked a little bit about signing in, right, and kind of the difference in the username, password, public key versus private key. Public keys are called inpubs. And so every public key is like an inpub1, right? So the private keys are the tricky part, right? You can put your public key into anything you want. Private keys are tricky because you don't want to put your whole private key necessarily into one of these apps. All of them take a private key, but you don't necessarily want to put it into one of these apps. So they've created what they call extensions. The extensions basically allow you to one time put your private key into it, but then it is able to work with the other apps, and so it doesn't actually put its private key into the other apps, right? Keeps your private key safe. Some of these extensions, Nos2x. Nos2x is what I use. Fiat Joff created that. Nostr, Insect Bunker, Pablo did that, LN Bits. So already a selection of ways you can log into these different apps safely. One thing I forgot is to thank all the devs. I mean, I'm going to go through all of these apps here, and I mean, the devs did an excellent job, all of them, right? And so If I miss a dev and you want to call them out or something, that's great. If I can remember who designed what app, I'll call them out. But I mean, everyone's doing such an awesome job. This isn't all my stuff. None of it's mine. I get one thing's mine, but it's really a combination of many, many devs here, hundreds. So another really unique aspect of Nostr are the zaps, right? And basically what that is they're small Bitcoin payments. How many of you are familiar with zaps or Lightning? Okay, most of you. So keeping it short, multiple wallets you can use. They're, like I said, they're basically Lightning wallets, Bitcoin wallets that transfer small amounts of Bitcoin very fast, right? And so the Nostr protocol integrates this into it. So it's actually really cool because you can actually pay for things, or you can donate money to people, or you can, if there's an artist, or there's a creator, or someone that writes a really interesting blog, you can zap them. You can send them a little bit of Bitcoin, right? And there's no middleman to take that. It's peer-to-peer. It's point-to-point, right? So it's people think it's kind of fun to zap people and stuff, but if you look a little deeper, it is actually a global payment system built into this protocol. It's actually pretty amazing. And you'll see here as I go through some of these apps, what you can do with zaps. Wallets, here's a couple wallets. There's a ton of Lightning wallets. These are some popular ones that we use. Zeus, Albi, Wallet of Satoshi, Moon Wallet, Strike. Very simple to use a wallet. Manually, you can see I put a few images, right? Lets you have X amount of sats, right? If you want to send it, you have or receive it, you have to have your QR code, right? Someone scans it and sends it to you. If you want to send it, then you scan something and send it to them, right? And like I mentioned, I put a few things on the right. All the apps have a zap, have a way to zap them, right? Anything, you can pretty much zap anything. So let's start talking a little more about the apps. Since we were just talking about zaps, we'll talk about some of the zap apps. So there's Zapstream. Kieran created Zapstream. And it's basically a streaming service, right? Something like, I don't know, YouTube or something, right? But YouTube, I guess they have streaming. It's not all streaming. But it's a live streaming service. It allows people to comment on the streams, stream what they want, and zap people for that stream. So if you really like what they're live streaming, you can zap them. And then there's plenty of other apps, but one that came up that people like are the auto zaps. So you can actually, let's say you want to, maybe there's a dev and you want to zap them, whatever, so many sats, so many cents or pieces of Bitcoin every week, whatever. You can do auto zaps for certain people. There's the trending zappies. So because Nostr is completely open and you can see everything that's going on, you can see who's getting how many zaps. And so someone created an app that can show you who's getting a lot of zaps, right? The trenders. This is something this is what everyone thinks, or a lot of people think that Nostr is, the Twitter clones, right? And they're great. And I mean, it's what I use mostly, in all honesty. But there's so much more. But let's cover the clones. Damus. Sure most of you are aware of Damus. That's the iOS Nostr Twitter clone app. I hate to say Twitter clone, by the way. It's kind of what we have been calling them, but there's so much more than just a Twitter clone. But anyways, there's Snort. There's, Damus is iOS. We have Primal, iOS. Amethyst is Android. Snort Social, Iris Toe. Snort and Iris actually recently merged their code bases, right? So they're working together. Damus is Will. Forget Primal. Snort is Kieran. Iris Toe is Marati. Nostr.Ninja. I don't remember all the devs. I'm trying to remember them. Nostr.Ninja is also a web-based app. It's really up and coming, really good. Coracle Social, and plenty more. And so I think one thing I want to point out about the apps is, unlike Twitter, that's why I don't even hate using the word even in correlation with this, but unlike Twitter, each app has a different experience. You're not tied to a certain app. You can use whatever app you like best. There's people that are like, oh my God, I love Damus. And then there's people like us, I'm an Amethyst person, like, through and through. And other people are like, No Strudel's up and coming. I've used No Strudel a lot. It's actually a pretty cool online app. So it really just depends on like your preference, your look and feel. Also, a lot of the apps have very unique features. So some apps tell you what's trending, like if there's a trending note. Some apps might tell you who's blocked you or who's muted you. Some apps might give you different zap options. So every app's actually a little bit different, right, of these Twitter clones. But they all have this kind of feed. They all kind of have that feed, and you can upload images and have your notes. I say notes, that's kind of like tweets in Twitter land, but we call them notes. I recommend, start one of these. If you're interested, if you haven't used Nostr, start with one of these apps. But there's so much more. That was just one slide. So another huge category of Nostr is blogging. So the difference here is it's all focused on writing a really nice blog. A few big blogging apps, Habla News, so his name is Verebici. I met him last night and I still can't pronounce it. Flycat.club, yakihone.com, Blogstack, Highlighter was created by Pablo. So as you can see, it's really focused on creating the blog. It's rich text. You can, different fonts if you want to change your fonts, if you want to enlarge them, if you want to change colors, whatever. And then it goes out like a blog. At the end here, you see I added the highlighter. Pablo created a highlighter, and you can see this is an idea of just you can create anything you want, right? It doesn't even have to be an existing kind of Twitter clone or blog or something. Highlighter was an idea of his that allows a person to go to a blog or wherever on Nostr, highlight something you like. It doesn't have to be like saving the link of the whole page. Maybe you just like a quote. And you can highlight this quote, highlight this sentence or whatever, and it'll mark it, and it'll save it for you. Other people can see it. And then Pablo just announced that he did a 2.0 update, right? So there's all sorts of updated changes. You can split payments. And again, if you really like the blog, you can zap that person. You can send them some money for that blog, right? Music. Who likes music? A lot of people. I like music too. So the cool thing is, right off you think, okay, so there's all 3 or 4 of these music apps are going to kind of be similar but focus on music. But no, these 3 apps I'm going to go through are actually pretty different. Still all focused on music. So Stemster by Not Henry is an incredible music app. It's really cool. So it has a feed, right, similar to like a Twitter clone. But every note in that feed is based on music. It's some stem or some audio file or music or song or whatever that someone uploaded, right? And so you see a little bit of that experience there, right? If you share it, you drag and drop your music there. You can then download it and remix it, share it there. People can give feedback, download that, and remix it. So some really cool music features there in Stemster. Songster.org, I just found out about this a few days ago. So also based on Nostr, also based on music, but gives you the option to actually go through it through this app. But if you want to buy it or you want to go see it on YouTube or something like that, you can see there's links to go do that, right? Buy it on Tidal or Amazon or whatever. So kind of a different use case than Stemster. And then one I also just found that I really like is waveman.app. And this is by Wavelake team. And they've been around for a while, and they've been into music for a while, obviously. And they have a really cool app, and all it does is it just streams your music back to back, right? And you can see it's in this kind of old school looking kind of music player. So you just hit play, and it just plays a song after song, and that's it. It's very simple, right? So all 3 very cool music apps, totally different use cases, and there's probably more music apps, and there's probably a lot more music use cases that you can do, on Nostr with stuff like this. So this is just kind of showing you some of the diversity and creativity with just one type of art, music. Okay, and not being biased at all, but this is my favorite set of apps, right? Image uploaders are great. There's a ton of image uploaders, right? So I'm Nostr.Build. I started the Nostr.Build image uploader app, but there's a lot more, right? So there's Void.cat, also by Kieran, NostrImage.com, by Not Henry, NostrCheck.me, I'm going to remember his name in a second. I just forgot it. Satellite.Earth, already forgot that too. But tons, and there's also more than that. These are some of the big ones. So the key, for example, the key thing that all of them do is they all upload images, right? So just taking a step back, you know, since it's decentralized, you know, in a system like Twitter, you can, you know, that has everything's kind of combined in one. You upload your image, but all the images go to the Twitter upload space, right? You can't really choose a different place to upload. We don't have on Nostr like a centralized place to upload images. So we have to create our own places to upload the images. And so that's what we've all done, right? And so people are asking, they've asked me before, well, why isn't Nostr.Build, for example, is on, we use AWS servers. It's very centralized. And people are like, make it decentralized. And I mean, I've talked to Fishcake, he's my partner, and we've looked into it. And I mean, although it's possible, it's very difficult to make image uploaders decentralized. Or they would be there. None of these are decentralized, all these 5 or 6 that we're talking about. Nothing's a decentralized image uploader here. So it's very difficult. But this is the next best thing. Having an option, you know, to upload your image to wherever you want is almost just as good, right? And most of the apps that I've talked about and that I'll talk about, they give you an option, right? Damus uses Nostr.Build for the back end, but they also use Nostr Image. So if you don't like Nostr.Build, you can switch it to Nostr Image, right? And the same with pretty much most of the apps, right? You can choose what uploader you want, and ultimately, if it's not built in, you can always go to that and copy the link and paste it in. And even besides that, you can build your own image uploader, right? If you don't trust any of these guys, it's very simple. So for example, Fishcake, my partner, he's doing a presentation on day 3, deep dive on Nostr.Build. So basically how to build your own image uploader, right? He's going to go through everything on GitHub, everything he's done to update it, all that, right? So even though all of these upload images, for example, each one also has unique features, like all apps. Like Nostr.Build, we have private storage accounts. We just started supporting NIP98 with account integration. You can get NIP5 verification. We have a public gallery, right? So kind of side cool features, right? You're able to see all the images that Nostr.Build, that anyone's ever uploaded to Nostr.Build through the free upload section, right? If you want, 800,000 plus pieces of media, videos, GIFs, all this. Void.cat by Kieran, also focused on uploading images, but also some unique features. So it's not just images, right? You can actually upload any file on VoidCat, right? Any file you want. And you can also encrypt your files, right? So unique, very unique features there. I don't think any other of these, you can upload any file or encrypt them. Nostr Image has a GIF library, very simple, easy to use UI as you can see. Little different payment model. So Nostr.Build, VoidCat, NostrCheck.me are all completely free, right? We have paid accounts, but you can completely free upload your imagery free also. Nostr Image, you can upload super cheap. It's like a penny or something. But it does have a pay structure for each image you upload. Satellite Earth, also very up-and-coming, popular uploader. But you also pay for that usage of the upload image. Nostr Check Me, just a few features that it has. It also has a NIP5 verification, has a public gallery, has a lot of stuff. NostrCheck.me, key converter. Satellite.Earth isn't just an image uploader. They have it's a whole other, like, kind of Twitter clone. It has an app to it also. I don't know what I hit. So, again, plenty of choices for image uploaders. You can even build your own image uploader. Most of these, if not all of them, are on GitHub, right? Open source. So it's not decentralized. Again, it's very hard. Fishcake will tell you how hard it is. But this is a lot better than, a lot more decentralized than any other social media platform out there as far as image uploads. This is a really cool one, and you should go check it out because some really cool stuff for sale here. But a couple marketplaces, right? So like that kind of eBay of Nostr. We have Shopster.store. That one I just found out about. Plebeian Market, I've known for a while. Again, you don't buy in dollars, you don't buy in Dogecoin, you don't buy in anything else, you buy in Bitcoin. You buy in sats and Lightning, right? It's all Bitcoin. You can see there at the bottom left, 85,000 sats for the sweater, right? So again, that's a way you can actually purchase stuff, and not just kind of randomly off of a Twitter clone, but a dedicated marketplace. Remember, all of this is all running on the Nostr protocol, right? So, I mean, there's so many apps, and I figured I'd combine, I'm coming kind of near to the end here. I figured I'd combine a few of the apps, and we can still go through them, but there's a lot of stuff. Nostr Cooking. So if you're into cooking recipes, right, this is completely focused on cooking. This is completely focused on your recipes. You can upload your recipe, you can upload a related image or images. People can comment on it. It's great, it's not so great. I mean, if you're looking for something unique to cook, jump on Nostr.cooking and find something, right? Stacker News. This is a good one because, you know, people are getting kind of sick of the media these days, right? The mainstream media. Stacker News is a real kind of Nostr way or locals way to see what, you know, what's going on in our version of the news, right? So we have an entire news stream. Again, if you like the article, you can zap the article. Nostr Nests. So this is, if you're familiar with Twitter Spaces, often we need to have real conversations with people. You know, you can only get so much done with, you know, notes and direct messages and stuff, and you need to like really verbally talk to people. So Nostr Nest has been around for a while, maybe 8-9 months or so. I mean, that's a long time in Nostr time. And Simisol created it. I think Derek helps him run it, and it's used a lot. It's an excellent app. It's a way that people can get together in groups and talk. Speaking of other interesting apps, Nostr.Band is a search app, right? So you can search anything you want on Nostr. So if you want to find an old note, or if you want to find certain keywords, phrase or quote or an expression or something, right? Maybe even an image link, and you have the link, but you don't know who actually posted that link. You found the link, and you know it's from a Nostr, but you don't know who posted it. You can search that, and you can find out who posted that link. So also I use that a lot, actually, quite a bit, right? Nostr.Band. And actually, I think there's another Nostr search engine. Does anyone know what the other one is? Is there another one? Okay. Nostr.Band's the big one. And most recently, there's a pretty decent chat app that's running on Nostr, OX Chat. And I have been using that one also. So again, that chat app, it's based on the Nostr protocol. It syncs completely to your DMs, right? Your direct messages and any other app you're using. But the chat app is like focused on chat. It's chat only, like any other chat app, right? So it's a little easier to actually chat with people. It's a little faster. It's a little cleaner. You see like your chats, right? Like in order. It's not all mixed in with your other apps. Very clean. Am I missing any of the really cool Nostr apps? Just curious if someone's using something they'd want to call out. I have that. That's the best app of them all. Yeah, I mean, not being biased. So let me see. I may have just went through this way too fast. No, we're doing okay. We have 4 minutes. That was actually not bad. Tons of resources. So if you go to nostrapp.link, there's a lot more than what I just covered, and it also gives a basic overview of their apps. So go to nostrapp.link. A lot of related courses today and tomorrow on these apps. So Pablo's doing a Nostr Apps 201, you know, a deep dive, a double click, maybe how to build some of these, the guts of some of these, right? And this is day 2 tomorrow from 10 to 10:30. Nostr signing device. LN Bits is, I believe it's a physical signing device, but they're going to talk a little bit about that day 2, 1 to 145. Journalism, right? We talked about Stacker News. So journalism obviously will go beyond just Stacker News, but it also should, it's going to cover some of that, kind of rogue or kind of unique journalism, right? Not necessarily tied to mainstream media. Nostr.Build Architecture and Future. Fishcake is going to go over that on day 3, and he's here. And I mean, just to double click on that one is, I started Nostr.Build almost a year ago, like 9 months ago, and I'm not like a full-fledged dev like a lot of the people here. I am able to create an image uploader. I can create some simple websites and stuff, but basically after the 3rd or 4th month with the growth of Nostr, it was starting to get a little out of hand and starting to look for a partner. And Fishcake just generously came in and offered to help fix. The big problem I was having is the data out. So with AWS, data out gets extremely expensive. And I wasn't thumbnailing them. I wasn't using CDN. There was a lot of things I wasn't doing that I could have done that would have saved us a lot of data money. Fishcake came in and he literally rewrote the whole Nostr.Build probably a couple times. And then on top of that, he added like stuff like NIP98, NIP96, all sorts of, he rebuilt the whole, we have for accounts, if you want to purchase an account, he rebuilt the whole account UI on the inside. And he keeps on adding more features. It's just incredible. So excellent partner. You should definitely go see what he did on day 3 to Nostr.Build. Shopster, they're talking about building a better marketplace on day 3 from 1 to 120. So interested in marketplaces, either shopping or building your own marketplace or how they work, definitely check it out. Zaps and music, this is the one I definitely want to see, a love story. Wavelake, day 3, right, 9:30 to 10, talking more about music on Nostr. And Insect Bunker, Pablo is going to do that day 2 from 2 to 2:45, right? Some really cool related apps that you might want to go, or sessions you might want to go check out. That's it. Any questions, any thoughts, any apps I missed, anything I should add to the list for next time or just for us to know about?
If you have questions, please come up to the mic for the people at home.
Oh. We also have shirts if you guys want to buy a shirt. BitPopArt and I created this shirt and we're like, helping. We don't make a lot, just to let you know and be completely transparent. Here, oh wait, I got offered to get my picture taken, so I'll take that. Here you go. Huh? Oh, good idea. Yeah, there we go. And pretend like I'm still doing something. So we sell accounts, and there's like 4 different accounts, and they're all pretty affordable, annual subscription. And God, I think our costs are around $200 or $300 a month. We probably make $300 or $400 a month on the accounts. Thank you. So it's, one thing I want to mention just about all those apps. If you're here to make money, like big money, and you think you're going to get rich on the Nostr platform, like think again. It's going to take a while. So, we all have day jobs, right? None of us are living off of Nostr income. But if we're breaking even, we're happy. And I think, that's really all that matters for now. So, anyways. Question? Yeah. Hi.
Hello. Yeah. First of all, thanks for this wonderful talk and for building Nostr.Build.
Of course.
I am actually the developer of Blowwater. So it's a web client.
Yeah.
So I haven't integrated with any image uploader yet because they don't have unified APIs yet.
Okay.
So do you see any future possibilities or names to unify their APIs?
Yeah. Fishcake's here, so he can actually give you a more detailed answer than I would be able to give you. So go ahead, Fishcake.
So anyway, we have a company called
Oh, wait. Yeah. You want to use this one here? I don't know if I can take it out. There we go.
So we have something called NIP96, which is still in draft, not merged, that has been integrated at least in 5 different media hosting platforms. That is unified. You basically, if your client supports that, all user have to do is just add the URL that the platform itself provides, and you all integrate it. That's it.
96.
NIP96.
Okay, thank you.
Not the other NIP96. There are 2, unfortunately.
Okay, I will find it on your
Yeah.
GitHub.
Okay.
GitHub is completely open source, so you can check out our GitHub and probably find it there also, some more details on it. Thank you for the question. Any other questions? Great. I think that's it. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.